Welcome to another video, and today I'm touring a very special home. This historic Kedzie Boulevard mansion was built for entertaining by a professional entertainer. As they say, business in the front, party in the back. Welcome to 2424 North Kedzie Boulevard. This gorgeous historic home has 8 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, 2 half baths, 8,000 square feet of interior living space, listed for $5,399,000. Designed by Project. And a big thank you to listing agent Mariah Bell for letting me tour her one-of-a-kind listing. To kick off the tour, let's briefly talk about the facade of this gorgeous mansion. So guys, you have stone and brick facade that looks gorgeous with black windows. And this home actually sits on a 50 by 200 foot lot, which is, it's double the size, the width, and it's extra long. And you have this gorgeous lush landscaping in the front that looks absolutely stunning. And then right through this regal door, you enter the home. Let's go see it. So as soon as you enter the home, you feel like you've just arrived to a magical and kind of whimsical destination. And you know that the rest of the home is going to be really cool, judging by the foyer. So here to my left is this really playful Pink Panther, and the entire foyer is actually done in this exquisite millwork that's painted in this beautiful shade of green. And notice it's on all the walls as well as the ceiling. Really elegant light fixtures. And then right over here is actually a hidden coat closet with a leather handle that adds a really nice touch. Guys, I'm so excited to show you this property. It is gorgeous. And before we start the tour, I should say that the main level is all about entertainment. The second level has bedrooms. Top level, playroom, and on the lower level, well, we have a little surprise. So just wait and see. Why don't we start on the main level in the front. So the front of the property is a receiving room. So when your guests arrive, this is where they hang out. This is where they can have a drink. One of the things I really love about the front of the home is this beautiful custom sofa, and it is custom to this home. So the shape of it, the length of it, everything was designed specifically to fit this area. And one of the other things I like is the amount of natural light that comes into the home, really in every part of the home, especially in the front. So all the windows were beautifully restored. And remember, this property is a protected landmark, so there's limitations as to what you can replace and what you can update. One of my favorite features of the main level is the number of dedicated areas you have to entertain. You could have people hanging out in the front, you could have people mingling right over here, and then in the back of the house, there are many other really fun areas. The other thing I love is this custom panel ceiling and these gorgeous oversized light fixtures. And the sitting room flows really nicely into this one-of-a-kind dining room. And guys, this dining room is so gorgeous. One of the things to point out here is this beautiful dinner table. And the story about this table is that it actually comes from a tree farm in Italy. And the reason that it has this really beautiful pattern is because they dye the ground where the tree grows. And after 50 plus years, they chop it down, and this is the look that you have. And keep in mind, this is actually a single piece. Right over it is a really nice custom light fixture that was actually built to fit this dining room table. And then right over it is a gold textured wall covering that makes you feel like you're dining under the stars. And across from the dining room is yet another room where you can entertain your guests. Guys, check this out. Now this room is so cool. It actually feels like a fortune-telling room. It's very ambient, dark, mysterious, and kind of magical. I love these built-ins. You have the snake-printed custom couch in this really unique shape. And at the ceiling, you have these star-like light fixtures that set the mood. And adjacent to the fortune-telling room is this powder room right over here that services the main level. And guys, this powder room is very seductive. The entire powder room is done in this beautiful shade of green. You have this snake printed textured wall covering, custom vanity with this beautiful exotic stone, brass faucet off the wall, and then at the top, well really at the ceiling, you have this fabric that comes together, makes you feel like you're in some theater. And then right over here is this hand-painted piece of naked women and monkeys that kind of adds to the vibe. And just down the hall, you have this gorgeous kitchen. And guys, this kitchen is the definition of luxury. Guys, this kitchen is pretty cool. So 3 different areas. You have the bar area where you make your drinks. You have a little banquet table right here. And then you have the prep area right this way. So why don't we start over here? Gorgeous custom kitchen by Armazem. And these are ribbed, paneled, basically cabinets, right? They're absolutely gorgeous. And the entire thing is ribbed. Like this entire wall, and it flows all the way onto, basically kind of wraps the entire kitchen. Very, very cool. Sub-zero fridge. Everything is oversized, everything is beautiful, and of course, everything is functional and hidden. You have your toaster there, and there's more cabinets at the top. And then right this way, you have, well, let me show you. You have a couple of freezer cabinets, freezer drawers right here, wolf range. So functionality is probably one of my favorite features of this kitchen. It was really well thought out. So on this wall, you've got your range, you've got some counter space. Guys, and this area right here, this little situation is really, really awesome. It has 2 dishwashers, and it has this oversized galley sink. And if anybody knows the galley sink, you know that this is one of the coolest things you can have in the kitchen because it makes your life so much easier. You could be straining pastas, you could be chopping vegetables, you could be tossing salads. This thing is so easy to use, and it's so amazing to have. Because when you're hosting a party for hundreds of people, this is what you want in your house. Now, as if that counter space is not enough, you have more counter space right over here. And this peninsula works really, really well. It fits 3 to 4 chairs. Again, you could be hosting here, you could have breakfast here. It offers lots of storage in the base cabinets. And in the center of the kitchen is this really cool banquet style kitchen table. And this is like a booth that you would find in like a Michelin rated restaurant, you know, except it's in your very own home. And right over it, you have a very unique custom light fixture. And guys, this is all leather, custom made, looks absolutely gorgeous, and it adds a lot of character and a lot of wow factor to this already beautiful kitchen. And right over here is this beautiful live edge counter. And it's absolutely gorgeous to look at. It's really well crafted, adds a lot of warmth to this kitchen, and it has this custom piece that kind of runs over it. Very, very nice. So when you have people over, like this is basically a bar, right? And behind these doors is where you keep the good stuff. They open up just like that. They slide right in, and voila. You have your booze, you have the sink, everything you could possibly need to host an awesome party. And this sums up the kitchen. Do you remember how I said there's a party in the back? As soon as you walk into the sunken living room, the first thing you notice is the amount of natural light that's coming into this room, which is really, really incredible. And it's coming in through these custom doors that basically run from floor all the way to the ceiling. And the natural light creates this amazing energy, and it just kind of makes you want to hang out here and be here, entertain here, and really live your best life, right? Living rooms are created to feel comfortable, and this living room is very, very comfortable. Guys, one of the coolest features of this living room is this incredible light fixture. It's very cool, it's very playful, and it's very, very unique, just like everything else in this home. I think it adds so much cool factor to this living room. Right over here, you have this custom furniture And again, it was customized to fit this living room. I think the color is gorgeous. I think the shape of it is very, very unique. And right over here is your focal wall. And you have this giant, I think this is like an 80-inch TV. And notice the wall, the focal wall is actually black Venetian plaster. And guys, I should mention one of the things, actually every wall in this home is Venetian plaster. So there's no drywall in this entire property. And Venetian plaster is very, very expensive to apply and to build and to basically have in your home. One of the most unique features of this living room are these amazing doors. And these are StarTech Infinity Glass doors that open up so you can have indoor, outdoor living just like you would on the West Coast. Let me show you how easy it is. Okay guys, how cool is this? This is pretty amazing, and I can't believe a home like this exists in Chicago. Indoor, outdoor living, pretty incredible. You have this oversized patio where you can host, I don't know, you can host at least 100 people at a party in a home like this. Giant space. You have a garage, which I'll show you in just a minute. And then right over here, you have a really nice play area. So if you have kids, I mean, this is pretty amazing to have. And right over here, you can have a little dinner outside on a beautiful summer night, which is really nice. And then right this way, you have a really nice grilling station that is state of the art. It's all hooked up. You got the gas hookup, you have electrical hookup. So this is actually pretty perfect because you could be making your dinner right over here and then serving it right over here. Now this is the kind of garage that's designed to show off your cars. These doors open up and the garage is actually large enough to fit 4 cars. It has that nice storage and it actually has a small kitchenette that's very handy to have when you're hosting a party. You can actually have a catering company use this space to enhance your party and to actually make hosting a little bit easier. So this is really, really nice. Now let me show you what's on top of the garage. When you're spending $5 million, you better have your own basketball court. And when you're done playing, and if your legs are feeling a little weak and you don't feel like taking the stairs, well, you can just lie down. And this sums up the main level. Time to head upstairs. Entering the second level landing, you have this really cool sitting area. When you're hosting up people, like this is where they can hang out and mingle. Like that's what I'm saying. Every part of the home has an area to hang out. Now, through those doors is the primary bedroom, but let me show you the bedrooms first, right this way. So the first bedroom is actually a kid's room, and this room is really one of a kind. Again, just like the rest of the home. In fact, this bed was turned into, well, the car was turned into a bed. And this is the real deal. This is actually the owner's car that they transformed into a bed. I think it's incredible. They have the leather seats. There's even a radio here and switches and the whole 9 yards. I mean, I think it's any kid's dream. And I love what they did with the walls. There's actually a really nice print here that works really well. And then the light fixtures, again, there's like a cluster of them. There's like 6 of them. They look really, really cool. And then right over here is a Jack and Jill bathroom. Again, very clean, very chic. You have the penny tile on the floor that tie in nicely with this cool gray floating vanity. High gloss handles. You have oversized subway tile on the wall. I'm a huge fan of the way they run it behind the mirror. It just works really, really well. Clean light fixtures. And by the way, ceiling height on this level is incredible. And then right over here, you have this tinted glass shower. Again, very chic, very clean. And notice the details. You have the hooks and the hangers and the handles, and even the faucet knobs are really, really playful and very unique. And then right over here is another bedroom with a large window and really good natural light. And right across the hall is the third bedroom. Again, You have a large window, and the decor here is very, very unique. It's got kind of a lighter pink theme. Look at the ceiling. It's very, very special. It's got, you know, like these palm tree leaves, and the chandelier is truly, truly one of a kind. It is just so magical and so whimsical and so clean. But let me show you the bathroom. Floating vanity, oversized shower, but the faucet and all the plumbing fixtures are done in rose gold. And this hallway is really cool. Again, very playful, really well designed. The ceiling has these black and white stripes that look cool, and the light fixtures are really, really nice. They actually remind me of, you know, those dog balloons at a fair? Yeah, that's what they look like. Okay, this is one of the largest primary bedroom suites I've ever toured. So behind me is a primary bathroom, which I'll show you in a moment. And there are actually two walk-in closets, one over there and then one over here. Let me show you this one. Ta-da! Great space. All the closets are by a company called Armazan. Everything's top notch, and it's the best closet systems money can buy. You have a large window right over here, so as you're getting ready, it's always nice to have, you know, as much natural light as you can get. And then again, these are done in this beautiful shade of teal. Very, very nice. And notice the stone detail around the arches of all the entryways. It looks really, really cool. Now, let me show you this one. Now, this is what I call a walk-in closet. Oversized accessories island, which is everyone's dream, I think. You have so much space. Love these doors. I love the shade, and they actually have a little bit of texture to them. The handles are really nice. And guys, right over here, you have that same wall covering that connects both walk-in closets. Again, it's very beautiful, it's kind of dramatic, and there's something inspiring about that pattern, okay? And then right over here, you actually have a makeup counter as well as a sink, and you have, again, more natural light. And one of the things about this walk-in closet, it actually has a washer and a dryer right inside your closet. Now that's pretty awesome. And now let's see the primary bedroom. And guys, this one is really, really amazing. So as you enter the primary bedroom, you notice this oversized ottoman, and you could sit on it, you could lay on it, you could have a nightcap on it. It's really, really cool. One of the things that really stands out is the fact that this bed is located in the very center of the room, which is very, very unconventional because normally you find it up against the wall, but here it's right in the center. And I love the custom bed frame. I love the panels right over here that create a little bit of separation and a little bit of privacy. You have really awesome wall covering on basically every wall in this room. And what's really special about this room is, again, because the bed is in the center, you know, when you wake up in the morning, you're looking onto the boulevard. You have natural light coming in through, you know, from 3 different directions, which is really, really incredible. And you can almost feel the energy of Logan Square. Alright, so this primary bathroom is kind of cool and kind of different. Let's talk about a couple things. Well, the first one that comes to mind is the fact that it doesn't have a front door. This arched doorway is completely open, and you know, it's basically you have not much privacy, right? Which is probably intentional, and there's something very liberating and freeing about this bathroom. Besides the fact that it doesn't have a front door, it has this amazing deep soaking tub where you can fit, I don't know, at least 5 people. Again, incredible natural light, okay? Just the space, the shape of this room, the ceiling height, the glass shower, everything is just so serene and kind of just, again, very liberating, very exciting. And notice that the shower actually doesn't have any tile on any of the walls. And the reason for that is because you have Venetian plaster on all the walls, which is actually waterproof. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You have an infinity drain right there. I love the fact that the floor actually is a combination of hardwood flooring that runs into the bathroom, which you really don't see often, and you have the hex-shaped tile that, again, ties in really nicely with the floor. The vanity is absolutely gorgeous. I love the terrazzo counter. I love the shape of the mirror. And then you have these really cool circular pendants that are coming from the top that looks very clean and very chic. And the toilet, just like the entire primary bathroom, does not have a door either. And this wraps up the primary bedroom. Let's check out the upstairs. All right, we're now at the top level of the home. And guys, the top level is basically your flex space, right? It's currently used as a kid's playroom, but it can be whatever you want it to be. It could be your office, it could be a media room. I really love the way they set it up right now. It's absolutely amazing. It's very whimsical, very playful. I love these incredible beams that run at the ceiling. They look amazing. And I love how they played with paint on the wall. Very funky colors, very vibrant, and very, very cool. And this is the bathroom that services the top level, and it's very funky, just like the rest of the bathrooms. I love the wall covering. Looks like a fur of some sort. Maybe a leopard print, maybe not quite, but it's incredible. You could just see the texture in the print. The shower is very clean. Love the large format tile, and I love, actually the shape of this mirror is incredible because it's actually cut at an angle. And then it has a really funky light fixture in the corner that's truly one of a kind. And this is the private bedroom on the top level. It's a good sized room. It has a walk-in closet, and actually it has a lot of storage. I love how crisp and clean it is. I love the setup, and these globe pendants really enhance the space. There's like 2, 4, 6, like 8 or 9 of them. They look really, really magical. And then this room actually has a private terrace. Let me show you. And this is a great outdoor space overlooking the boulevard. Perfect for a morning cup of coffee or an evening nightcap. And guys, I did not forget about the surprise on the lower level. It's actually set up as a luxurious 5-star apartment. So when you're hosting people and the party ends and you want them to stay over and not have to drive home, like this is where they go. Let me show you. So as soon as you walk downstairs, you instantly notice that the lower level is basically an extension of the party palace upstairs. You have these really cool polished concrete floors, and you notice the LED lights that are actually built into the baseboard, which is really cool, and they really set the mood. And then right over here has got to be the naughtiest powder room. Let me show you. And down the hall here, you have this amazing artwork of different music albums that instantly set the mood. And I also love the way they played with colors, paint colors on these walls, and kind of tie it all together. And now let's see the apartment. All right, this 3-bedroom apartment, it's pretty awesome. It's vibrant, it's very chic, and this is the kind of home you want to crash at after a fun party. Living room, beautiful light fixtures, really cool furniture, really cool kitchen. Look at the size of this island, guys. It's freaking enormous. Everything is chic, beautiful, comfortable, luxurious. And let me show you actually 2 of the bedrooms real quick. So bedroom 1, again, very clean, queen size bed, cool light fixture, but my favorite bedroom is right over here. Let me show you. And this room is probably my favorite in the apartment. It's very vibrant, it has really funky colors and really cool furniture. The one feature to point out is this custom printed wall covering on the ceiling that makes you feel like you're either dreaming or having a very fun trip. Very cool bathroom. Everything in the most perfect shade of gray. You have this double vanity with this really gorgeous stone black plumbing fixtures, And then the shower is wrapped in penny tile that looks really, really nice, infinity drain. And it even has this really cool mirror detail that adds a lot of character and adds a nice luxurious touch. Guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. I would love to hear what you thought of this property. Can you see yourself entertaining in a home like this? Leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And if you would love to see more homes like these, consider subscribing to the channel. And with that, I'll catch you on the next video.